Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. Supportive Oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Gemini, 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 Gemini. Like, are we off and running already? Like, are we off and running? What's going on? Are we having fun? Ooh, there's a lot of cards. Okay. I tend to think of Geminis as complex people. That people don't realize how complex they really are. Which, why we need to say that right now? I guess we'll find out. One more card. So we got this card. I don't know what it is, but I guess we're going to find out. Judgment reversed. Okay, so Judgment reversed for Gemini. Let's keep this in mind, because I want to know if we should be able to turn this right side up. So I feel like they're saying the way this is heading, it looks like it might go reversed, but how do we turn it right side up for you so you can have Judgment in your favor? All right, let's see if it hits. Obviously, as we keep going forward, if it hits, great. If it doesn't make sense, then maybe it's not for you. So keep that in mind. Going into the situation, somebody else seems to be telling you what they want. No, it feels worse than that. Somebody seems to be trying to tell you what to do. Now, be very cautious of this. Even if you're in a position where you're the one who calls the shots, there's somebody else trying to put pressure on you in some form where they want you to do what they want you to do, and they're trying to kind of push it, almost like bully it forward. And I'm getting the King, is it the King? Yep, the King of Rods, and it's hiding the Knight of Cups, which tells me one person might be coming towards you, but somebody else is pushing the button. Somebody else is pushing them that way. Somebody else is trying to get what they want, and they're influencing this other person. So it's like you may have one person in front of you, but somebody else got them to do it. Okay, now when this pressure is coming towards you, you do take it seriously, is what I'm getting. Whatever the pressure is, even if you're in a position where you're the one calling the shots, the pressure makes sense to you. You're all tied up in it. You got some anxiety about it. It's making you uncomfortable. You're taking it seriously. And it's one of those things where you're working through it. On the outside, you might look very strong on the outside, but this is something that you're definitely listening to, and it's making an effect. You're trying to figure out, what do I need to do now with this? The pressure you're getting, you're clearly not enjoying it, obviously, but like it's something where you can't just go along with what they want. Whatever this person is trying to make you do, or trying to really impress upon you that this is what you gotta do, you're not in agreement with that, is what I'm getting. And you're also kind of like, I don't really agree with that, but is it really is it a viable option? Is it something I could afford to do? Is it taking away what I want, or is this moving into an area where I don't think that's right? There's anxiety here, kind of like, I don't want to do that, but should I do that? Is it even viable? You're talking with this person, you're trying to negotiate it out with the Queen of Swords, which, I don't know, there's something about this energy is just unrelenting. So even though you're trying really hard and you're very strong on the outside, you still do have the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords here, telling me you're feeling like you're going to end up defeated one way or another. That's what's bothering you. You're kind of like, there's some variables here that you're seeing, they could go against you in a few different ways. So it's kind of like, I could push forward and ignore this or do it the way I think it should go, but then later I have this problem. Or I could do it the way they want me to do it, but if I do that, later I'm going to have that problem. So it's kind of like I'm going to have a problem either way. That's how I'm feeling about this. And you're also kind of like, listen, there's boundaries. There's things we can do and things we can't do here. And you're trying to work with it. And you're trying to make this other person understand. You're trying to give them a rational reason why, listen, I don't think this is going to work. Let's do it this other way first. And they're not relenting. They don't want to hear about what you think. They want you to just do it the way they're saying. And you're trying to, that's the thing with the Queen of Swords too. You're very smart and you're making your point. They just refuse to hear you. I'm getting they're refusing to hear you. So that's where the defeat's coming in. But there's rules with this situation. This is how this starts. So for all of you, like, I don't feel like this is something you're going towards usually. Maybe you're going to come across this in the next week or less, probably less. But most of you have already hit this point. What comes next is very strange to me. There's a better part where you seem to do what you have to do. What does that mean? You do what you have to. You got the Sun card. You're very happy with what you've chosen. Whatever you chose, you're like, okay, this will work out the best. You had to work out some kinks. You had to figure this out. You might have had to balance a few things a little bit differently than you normally would have. But you made it work. And I feel like that energy's here kind of like, okay, I mean, if anybody's going to make it work, that makes sense. Because a Gemini could be like, well, there's a lot of different options here. How can I re-add these options, do a partial this, maybe a partial that? Can we do that? Let me move this. Let me do that. Let me do this. Let me do this. You found another way. Like, I shouldn't be surprised that Gemini found another way to handle this, because I think that's what happened. You found a different way to handle it. At first, it felt like it wasn't going to have a chance. Then you're like, well, wait a minute. If I do this and I do that, blah 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 blah, I think we can all be happy. You found a good solution. Sun card. Okay, worked out great. You're happy. You seem to be more in control here. Again, with the Empress card. The other side, whoever was pushing pressure on you, they've got the Queen of Cups. They're happy. Good. Like, this is a really good moment. From a very hard, stressful point, you actually made success come out of this. Okay, good. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Outside of that person, again, like I said before, there's somebody out there behind the person. The person coming to you, that's one person, but there's somebody hidden behind them that's manipulating the situation. This is the person who wants something. This one right here. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Two of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Page of Cups. There's something up. Something isn't right. This person that's hidden is hidden for a reason. I don't know if they're just wanting to cause you problems, or if there's just like a hidden motive that they're not really putting out there just yet. But I'm getting the Knight of Swords between the two pages here, and is it the page? No, it's a Two of Pentacles, but it feels like a couple pages here. It's just kind of like they're not happy with how things worked out. They're not feeling like they're getting their outcome that they really want. The Two of Pentacles, because it's actually the Two of Pentacles and not a page. But it feels like a page to me. It really does. Kind of like they're trying to make changes. They're trying to move things forward, but they're not really having the ability to do so. They don't have the ability to move things where they want them to. So they're trying to find different ways to move things forward and I feel like they're trying to block you in. They're not happy with this outcome because you made a successful solution for everybody and they didn't want that. They wanted you to fail, is what I'm getting. But you succeeded, and now they're unhappy about it. So now they're trying to negotiate another way to get in your way. Really? Yeah. See, this is why we're talking about, it starts off with judgment against you, but we want to find if we can turn this right side up. So I'm like, all right, let's see if we can do this. So what comes forward next? They're kind of stuck. I'm looking at all the cards. They're stuck, but you're doing well. That's the thing. They don't seem to be liking that you're handling things well. Somebody wants to get in your way. I feel like that's what you need to identify. That it's not about taking everything you're dealing with and finding a solution that works for everybody. When somebody else is looking to make you fail, they're looking for your demise. You're not going to give them that. And once you realize that that's what they're actually going for, I feel like you're going to stop trying to appease them, because I feel like there's an appeasement going on here. But it's kind of like, that's my job, that's what I have to do. That's like, it's not a negative thing, it's like, this is what I'm supposed to do, that's what I'm good at. But when somebody, like, when their end goal is they just want to see you fail, that changes the whole landscape and you handle things differently. And I think that's what this is about. If you can see who this person actually is, who's hiding behind others, and identify what they're really trying to do, it changes the whole landscape, and that's where you can get judgment in your favor, but you got to identify who it is first. But to identify who it is, you got to realize that somebody's trying to do that. The energy goes dormant. Whoever's trying to push their way or trying to get their way, or they want your demise. I hate to say it, but I keep feeling that. They're going dormant for a little while, but they're also kind of really stressed because for some reason, they're really hell-bent on making you fail. Things are really strange, but people seem to be going along, and people have no choice but to work things out with you. You're finding solutions, satisfactory solutions, things that are good. Things are working out well. That's the Eight of Swords. Like, they're trapped. They feel trapped because you're giving. There's a lot of giving and receiving here. One hand washes the other. I do for you, you do for me. And you're doing that. You're like, okay, I'll do this for you. No, you need to do this for me. Okay, I'll do that for you. No, you need to do this for me. Seems like an adequate balance to me. But that's why they're feeling trapped. Because, like, the way you're working with them, it makes it very hard for them to cause problems and to, like, throw monkey wrenches in your way. Because you're being very accommodating and very helpful. But they're still brainstorming. Seven of Cups in this opinion. In this spot, in my opinion, is brainstorming. Trying to figure out other ways to get in the way. That's what I'm feeling from this. You're very good at with this energy at this moment, though. You're working with it. You're kind of like, hey, as long as you work with me, I'll work with you. Let's make this a cooperative thing. See, this is, again, why I'm seeing judgment against you and where we got to put it right set up. You have to see what's really happening. Because you're succeeding here. You're still succeeding, but you're not realizing what's going on behind the scenes. Because you got appreciation, you're handling this very well. You're doing everything in a very positive way. It seems like on paper, this should go well. This should be successful. This should continually be successful. But the temple path in with the appreciation is telling me you're setting something up in a very... The way you're setting it up is like, I act honorably, they act honorably, we go well, it's smooth sailing. Other side is not honorable. Somebody behind the scenes is not honorable. That's the catch-22. Okay. Now, the next thing that comes in, there's a lot here coming in. Is that the King? Yep. King of Swords comes in from the environment. Whoever was hiding before, I feel like they're going to come forward. They're going to try to... It's kind of like, well, I sent that person in there to cause problems, and that didn't go the way I wanted to. The Gemini made it work out. It's kind of like that's their attitude. Like, oh, the Gemini made that work out. Oh, figures. It's really that type of energy. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's really kind of like they're all bent out of shape because you foiled their plan. You didn't fail. You succeeded, and they thought that they had a foolproof plan to make you fail. You succeeded. They're bent out of shape about it. So they're like, all right, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to go and bother that Gemini myself. And this way, they're not going to get away with this. No matter what they come up with, no matter what solution they have, I'm just going to get in their way, and I'm going to complain, and I'm going to make them fail. They will fail this time because I'm going to make sure of it. I know that seems harsh, but it's really the energy I'm feeling here. Page of Swords comes in. That's the attitude, the King of Swords. The way they're coming in is with the Page of Swords. They're making it seem very small at first. They're going to work at this little by little, and they're taking the long road because they feel like if they slowly drive you crazy, that they're going to win. So they're just little things here, little things here, little things here, little things there. I feel like they're trying to build up, it's almost like they're trying to build up a case against you. Like, so they can say, look at all the ways that the Gemini has gotten my way. Look at all the times that Gemini has argued with me. Bypassing the fact that they created all these arguments. Bypassing the fact that you were just doing your job and doing what you were supposed to do, and you were negotiating. The fact that they're saying you were arguing is a technicality because they're the ones causing the situation and you're handling it because that's what you need to do. They're trying to make it look like you're doing something negative when in truth you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're holding up to your responsibilities. It's very manipulative. What I'm getting is like the way it feels. You got the walk away with the Queen of Pentacles, with the yin yang is what's back here. The yin yang is trying to accept like everything can't go my way. Sometimes I do everything I can, but still there's a bad outcome. Sometimes there's a really bad situation, but in the end you get a little bit of good out of it. The yin yang is that balance, you know. But I'm getting like after a while you just feel like no matter what I do, I can't win. And you start to feel like maybe I should go. That's these two cards, this is kind of what it feels like. Because these are actually contradictive cards. Like, the Queen of Pentacles holds strong and does not exit. She's just like, I'm here to make it work out. I'm here for the long haul. Walk away is like, giving up and leaving the situation. So these are contradictive cards. But when I'm getting them together, it's kind of like, no matter what I do, I just can't seem to satisfy this person. No matter what I do, it just never works out. And you're starting to feel like maybe I need to go somewhere else because maybe this isn't for me. I feel like this person is creating self-doubt with you for some reason. Kind of like they're trying to make you feel like it's you're the reason it's failing. That is not it. They're setting it up and trying to cause you to fail. No matter what you do, they're setting things in the way. They're trying to put other people in the way. They're trying to set it up to no matter what you do, you're going to fail. They're purposely doing that. Where I see this going is there is a change coming. A change will have to happen. But the question is, how will it happen and who's going to win and who's not going to win? Again, we go for the original card, Judgment in reverse. Judgment against you in the beginning. But the way I feel like you can turn this right side up is identifying what this person is really doing. That changes the whole playing field. The whole playing field. If you see them for who they really are and you start working around them, I feel like you can overcome this. The World card has to come in. I really feel like it's either you or them for some reason. I don't know what to say about that. Like somebody's going to have to pay for this. I don't know. I don't think that's fair. But because like you didn't do anything wrong, why should you pay for it? But it's kind of like either you have to go and find a way to out them and expose them for what they're doing, or it's going to be your demise, whatever's going on here. The World is coming in. This phase will end. It's just who's going to be the victor. That's what I'm feeling. You got hostilities with the Hanged Man, which I'm feeling what they're saying is like, this is a moment that's not going to be fun either way. There's no way you're going to get through this and it's going to be easy. There's no way you're going to get around this without having to fight for yourself in some respect. It's either this person throws all these barbs and things in your way and monkey wrenches galore, and they keep setting you up and you have to deal with that adversity and that hostility, or you figure out what's going on and directly go into it and be like, listen, this is all the proof. This is what this person's doing. I'm doing the best I can with this situation, and this person is purposely making a problem. I almost feel like I'm going to push my luck with this one. One of the problems we have in this world is sometimes not wanting to believe that there are people out there with very bad intentions, and that's literally what drives them forward. And it's maybe more than not. More than we like to believe. And it's hard for people to want to believe that. They don't want to see this person. Like, this person is not... People don't want to see this person for the negativity they really are. But that is what's happening here. That is truly what's happening, is what I'm getting. If this reading is hitting, if all this is hit, that's what I'm getting. And I'm feeling like you have to come forward. There's no way you're going to get around it. That's the Hanged Man. There's no way you're going to get around it. What I'm getting is, also, it's your choice. You have different ways to handle it, but you're going to have to handle it directly one way or another. So it might be direct no matter what way you go, but the angle that you come into that room is up to you. I feel like some of you can find allies to help you fight this if you need to. Adjacent possibilities with the Four of Wands. When the World comes in and it changes, that change will be permanent. So if this other person has been exposed, you not only stop them from being a problem to you, but I feel like you also are going to kind of like take the rug out from under them, and they're not going to be able to do this to other people as easily. So I do feel like that's going to happen. On the flip side, if they get the better of you, I don't see you able to really recover from that in this situation. And that person will go on to the next and do it again. Because it's a negative energy, and I feel like just destroying people might be something that they're very attracted to. Anything else with that? All right. That's how we turn it from a negative to a positive. So that's what they're giving me. Like, take it with a grain of salt. I know readings are for entertainment purposes only, naturally. So if it's hit with you, do your best with it. I hope things work out for you. If you'd like a direct reading from me, though, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.